Good morning. I'm starting this one very quickly. It was only 2 minutes ago that I started putting the camera on, so I had to really rush to do my audio check because almost every time, the first time I do the audio check, it's gibberish, and the second time, it's usually okay. And then the third try, I actually do the video. Anyway, today, 10th wave, creating solutions to address fraud and injustice. Most people are finally becoming aware of enormous problems in the matrix, such as financial fraud and inequality, plus governmental corruption that breeds injustice. We cannot expect those in the systems that have been reaping what to them are benefits to all of a sudden stop doing it that way. It's the only way they have known. We need to demonstrate a better way. I invite everyone to watch this video. Courts afraid of us now. Lawful Bank, Roger Hayes, British Constitution Group, and I give the link. I started watching that video. It's about a half an hour, or was it? No, I don't know what it was. It's close to an hour long, less than an hour though. I started watching it last night and I concluded it this morning when I came out of the meditation room. And it actually has solutions. And it's interesting because the solution of the way that they run the financial system sounds a lot like what Tim Turner was talking about at the conference that I attended last weekend here in Florida. But this concept of banks being created to serve the people and creating creditors rather than debtors. I mean, I'm not going to claim that I completely understand it yet so that I can explain it in detail to everyone. But what I've seen from this video and what I heard from Tim Turner last week, this is where the world is heading. These are the solutions that level the playing field that are being discussed in this video and that the Republic is talking about here in the United States. We need to get on the same team and build something that works and stop the damn criticizing of each other and pulling apart. And that includes in all levels. It's so easy for us to polarize. It's so easy because it's the way that we've always done things. But that needs to change. We need to stop doing it that way, and it's not going to be easy because people are patterned individuals. We operate by rote. We operate by habit. We operate by our conditioning. But we need to recondition ourselves, and the cosmos is opening up to give us the opportunity to do exactly that. In this 10th wave, this is where we don't just address problems. We create solutions. And it's really, really, really important, bedrock importance, that we understand that it's not enough just to be aware of what's wrong. We need to come up with what's right. And I'm convinced, after watching this video with Roger Hayes, I'm convinced, for the first time probably, that we might actually be able to turn this thing around without extraterrestrial help. Visible extraterrestrial help. I do believe the extraterrestrials, the angelic realm, and beings that are not operating simply in three-dimensional reality. I do believe that they've been helping us all along and will continue to do so. I absolutely believe that that's a given. Call it whatever you want, put whatever labels on it you want, but that's a given that the cosmos and other dimensional realities and perceptibilities are conjoining with what's happening on the earth to turn everything around and create the kingdom of heaven on earth. I almost don't even want to go there with the battle over basically it's over the point of view between separation and unity consciousness. But folks, that's a critical point. and I can't avoid it. Michael Erickson and some of the Christian groups, and some, I'm sure it's in other religions too, but that's what's most familiar to me right now. I mean, they're still operating, as I see it, from a position of separation consciousness. And as long as people are coming from that place, there are no solutions. There are no solutions when you're coming from separation consciousness. There's going to be polarization when you're in separation consciousness, because you're trying to separate this from that and you're not seeing how to connect them, and therefore you're not seeing a solution. You can't create, as Einstein said, you can't create a solution with the same level of consciousness that created the problem in the first place. You have to see it from a different perspective. And I'm telling you folks, and I will keep on saying it, and I will hammer it home to the best of my ability. This is a time of unity consciousness. It's no longer us against them. It's no longer light against dark or dark against light. It's no longer ignorance against knowledge, although as we awaken up, ignorance will disappear. As the lights come on, darkness will disappear. As we embrace the goodness of God in each other, as well as in ourselves, evil will be eradicated ultimately. And it can happen quite fast, faster than we imagine, as we increase our numbers. That's what Roger was saying. It's all a numbers game. As we get more and more people on board and educate each other more and more, and make videos such as that one go viral, and make the solutions go viral, like the problems have gone viral, so that people are aware of the problems. Even if they don't know what to do about it, people are aware of the problems. Now we need to begin making people aware of solutions to the problems. And Roger's ideas, which is the British Constitution Group, is really, really good, because it uses the very same system that the current matrix uses, except it uses it to the advantage of all the people rather than a handful of elite establishment people. But it's the same system. I used to think it was insane that Saint Germain taught the House of Rothschild fractional reserve banking. I thought, that's stupid. That is so stupid. Why would he put in place a system that was so fraudulent that it would create the world that we're living in today? Why would Saint Germain, an ascended master, do that? Well, listening to Roger, and even when Tim Turner mentioned it briefly, the financial system of using fractional reserve banking in the new system, when Tim said it last week, I sort of just brushed it off. But now listening to Roger again, I'm saying, wait a minute. If they can create money out of thin air that works for their benefit, why can't we create money out of thin air that works for our benefit? And insofar, at the beginning of the video, he talked about the courts being afraid of him and dealing with the judges. Well, I'm in the middle of a court thing, and I'm going to have to deal with the judges. The judges are committing fraud. They're denying me of my rights. They're committing a felony. Now, I need to educate those judges, which is part of what I did with the paper that I just filed a few days ago, in which I told them that I would not consent or submit to their authority. Here's the thing, folks. We are all equal under God. All of us. Every last one of us, man and woman, even child, we're all equal. None of us alone has all the answers and knows it all. Not one of us. I don't. All I can do is share with you what my experience, what my observation, what my world looks like from my particular unique vantage point. I can, from that vantage point, see that there are places of commonality. I can also see that there are places where we are not on the same uh, page, like Michael Erickson and those that are still seeing the separation thing and are still involved in the warfare between light and dark. I can't communicate with them, and I know that because I'm seeing from a perspective of everything is under God. Everything is God. They're not. They're saying there's God and this. I'm saying no, there's only God. And the interconnectedness of life and recognizing the unity consciousness is the only thing, listen to me, it's the only thing that's going to bring about a change. Because I'm convinced in my heart of hearts, in my soul, that it's the paradigm of separation has come to its conclusion. It needs to completely, we need to let go of it. The ninth wave, we need to say, all right, it ended in the ninth wave. That played itself out. Now we're in the 10th wave. We're moving into the creation of a new reality. We're co-creating this together. And the only way that we can do it is if we see ourselves as all being on the same team and we stop fighting each other and say, hey, we can create a new world order, one that works for everybody. That's a real new world order. The new world order that we hear about with the negative connotations, that new world order that Alex Jones and others have been talking about, David Icke, that they've been talking about, that new world order envisioned by the elite, that only works for the elite and works against the majority. So that's not a new world order, is it? That's the same old world order that we've always had. There's nothing new in elitism. Elitism and authority over the people by a handful is what we've always known. The new world order is from a place of unity consciousness and of individual and personal empowerment of everyone in the whole society. It works for the good of all because it sees everyone as connected to everyone else. What I do in my life affects you, and what you do in your life affects me. And we are not isolated from each other and separate from each other. We are part of a collective. Now, some people fear that because they fear they're going to lose their individuality. I've been there. The last thing I would want to do is be swallowed up in some amorphous blob of nothingness in which I no longer exist. The ego will resist that, and rightfully so. I developed an individuality, a unique personality. It is mine. I'm pulling all of the lessons that my soul has learned, but I'm doing it in a personality, in 3 dimensions that are able to expand into more dimensions. Do you hear me? But I want to keep me. I want to be me. And the ego has a right to its identity because it's worked so hard to develop that identity. It's not about laying it down and making it die. It's about integrating it with a new vision of reality, resetting the reality, rebooting the system. Yes, I am me, but I am me as a servant of the whole, and the whole comes back and serves me. That's love. That's the consciousness that we're moving into. That's this 10th wave. It's what it's all about. It's the new beginning. It's laying a new foundation, something that will work for everybody, and we're doing it quickly. We're doing it right now. This is the 10th wave. Do you hear what I'm saying? Pay attention to the solution thinking. We're aware of the problems, and for those that aren't aware of the problems, continue to make them aware of the problems. But remember, the most important thing is not only being aware of the problem, but being aware that there are solutions that together we can create. But we must get on the same page. We must be willing to play on the same team. This is a team sport. It's a team effort. And yes, there will be stars, but there will be no one left behind. That video that I showed the other day of that autistic boy shooting, what did he shoot? In the last few minutes of the game, he had 8 3-pointers. I mean, they never put him in a game before, and he was the star of the game. I mean, amazing, amazing performance. No one left behind. Do you get it, folks? The underdog is equal to the top dog. Do you get it? That's the new society, the new culture that we're creating. And we're creating it because we are becoming the new humanity that is able to see from a place of love and stop the damn stupidity of separating ourselves from one another and feeling superior, like my way is better than your way. My interpretation is the right interpretation. I will say this, from God's perspective, there's only unity. There's only unity from God's perspective. Can't be any other way, or it's not God. If you have a God that's still separating, it's a false God. You need to kill that God. And it's just an idea. It's just an idea that has to die, not a literal being. It's an idea that we need to let go of, because a new idea is here. A new idea whose time has come, that creates heaven on earth, and that levels the playing field, and that makes every man and woman able to create his or her own life according to what fulfills them and empowers and enriches them. And nobody needs any longer to seek their own as if there's not enough, for there's plenty for everyone. We live in a world of abundant potential and possibility, but we first have to let go of that old mentality of lack, because it's a lie. I leave you with these thoughts. Namaste. Thank you for listening.